I've been very busy recently doing some spring cleaning, and let me tell you, I found some super nostalgic finds in some of the boxes I was going through this weekend, and I had to share them with you. So first, I found some of my childhood favorite books that I kept. So I have Flush and Stargirl. I'm not sure if anybody else has read these, but I loved these. And I know people have read this. I have Holes and Small Steps. So Holes, no explanation needed. Loved this book. It's well loved, but honestly in better condition than I thought it was. I read this a couple different times. And then Small Steps, which is the follow-up. And then I had an entire stack of Andrew Clement's books. This was one of my favorite authors as a kid. So I actually have some hardback copies. Lunch Money, I think, was probably my favorite, but I do remember The Last Holiday Concert. I remember all of these. I'm not sure if kids today are still reading them, but these hold a special place in my heart. Then we have my first grade notebook, and I was quite the storyteller, but one of my favorites was I like snow days because it looks so beautiful outside. I get to play outside. I like to go outside and go sledding. I do not like snow because we don't have school. I sometimes have to go to my dad's office. I have to play with my brother or he will scream. The handwriting is just quality work there. I also found this set of notebooks, which was the first long form book that I ever wrote. Yes, I hand wrote it on notebook paper. I also took this and typed it, and it's somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I found it, and it is pretty unreadable. Like, the spelling is horrible. The grammar doesn't exist, but I tried really hard, obviously. Spent a lot of hours writing that book. I also found some old school Jonas Brothers books. And you know, Sierra from this era would be very happy to know that I have seen them now in concert twice, including with my best friend, who was my best friend back in the day. I also found a pamphlet on arsenic that I created. I don't know what we were doing in school, but I talked about the common uses of arsenic, and the first one is deadly poison. I don't know what I was up to in my 7th hour class there. I also found a couple short stories. So this one was called Happy Halloween. Halloween is still my favorite holiday. And I also found one called Fan and Mortar, which is about a geyser in Yellowstone. So some things just don't change. And apparently the Jonas Brothers, Halloween, and Yellowstone don't change. But other things that don't change are my taste in books. I found my book report for 13 Reasons Why, but the better one that I found that I was cracking up at, Twilight. I found my book report from November of 2008 on Twilight. And Twilight is the entire reason that I was going through this. So I was trying to find my book collection. I did not have Midnight Sun until last year. I bought it. So I do have Midnight Sun now. But here is my entire hardback set of the Twilight Saga. Obviously it's well loved, especially Eclipse. I don't know what the heck I did to Eclipse, but Eclipse got extra love. And inside of Eclipse, I found some papers, so with my volleyball stuff on it, and a study guide for Midsummer Night's Dream. I don't miss reading Shakespeare. That hasn't changed either. I also found the Twilight Companion, the Twilight Director's Notebook, the collector's edition of US Magazine with Breaking Dawn on the cover, the New Moon Illustrated Movie Companion, which I got for $3 at Big Lots. What a steal. And the Eclipse Movie Companion, and the Twilight edition of Life Story magazine, where all it is Twilight content. But wait, there's more. I also found some pens, so my 100 book pen and my advanced reader pen. We had like this tiered system of like you had to read certain books and take the test and quizzes or whatever and pass by a certain score in order for them to count. So I found some of my pens from that program. A Harry Potter pen that's advertising Prisoner of Azkaban on DVD. A nice little Hogwarts crest pen as well. I found a nice little set of Supernatural pens. We got Bobby, we got Cass, we got Saving People, Hunting Things, The Family Business. I also found Twilight pens, so I've got a Jacob pin here. These just say Twilight and Team Jacob, which in the books I was Team Edward, but in the movies I was Team Taylor Lautner. I'm not gonna pretend like I wasn't. Couple of Edward pins, but this is my favorite part. And I probably should throw these away, but at this point I've had them for so long, I I just can't. And that is all these boxes of sweethearts that are Twilight themed. So these are the Twilight ones. These were like 59 cents at Kroger's back in the day on sale. So they're probably, I don't even know if they have an expiration date. They're just straight sugar, right? Like do they expire? Probably not. But the Twilight ones, there are 3 different ones. So that's why I have 3 of them here. You have Edward and Bella and the Cullen crew. Just Edward and just Bella. And then in New Moon, they decided to go with the fire and ice theme. So there's an Edward and a Jacob on this one. I also got them in tins that I can possibly put up. I may actually keep these up because I think they're hilarious. And if you open it up, like the conversation hearts are still here. I wouldn't eat them, but they still have some words you can kind of read. They also have glitter on them, by the way. So in this pack it says, I heart JB, howl, and save me. And this one is I heart EC, live forever, and dazzle. I think the only one that's different here is they added lamb for the lion and lamb. But those are the things that I found, and these are just cracking me up. Now I'm getting ready to update the spreadsheet of my book list, which is why I grabbed these. I also kind of want to reread this series as an adult, just because I'm curious. I also got Midnight Sun, and I've not read Midnight Sun, so maybe I go through and reread the Twilight series. I don't know, it's not Hoa Hoa season, so I'm not sure that it's time for it. Maybe this fall I'll bring Twilight back.